My name is Gulshan Meredva. I studied at the State Podium School for Gifted Children named after Safarman Turkmenbaşı.
Hello, my name is Oralian Merel. My school number 10 named after Muhammad in Göktepe district of Akal province.
The name of our project is Ecological Dynamics of the Aral Sea.
So, the aim of our project is analyzing the ecological process of desertification of Aral Sea on the basis of reached information for many years through the comparing method. The innovation of our project is to bring into light the reason of desertification of the Aral Sea is rundown of Amudarya River's water to the Aral Sea, not the cutoff running flow of Amudarya to the Aral Sea. The Aral Sea in Central Asia began disappearing in the 1960s because of the diversion of its two feeder rivers for agriculture. This series of images illustrates unintended consequences of water management decisions. The Aral Sea was once the fourth largest lake in the world. Situated in an otherwise desert region of Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan, two rivers, the Sirdarya and the Amu Darya, carried snowmelt and rainfall from distant mountains to where they pooled in the Aral basin. The Aral Sea supported farming in the river deltas and a fishing industry up through the first half of the 20th century. Then, in the 1960s, the Soviet Union converted the local economies to cotton production and diverted the two rivers to irrigate the fields. With no other major source of water, the Aral Sea has been evaporating and shrinking ever since. After 50 years, the lake's area is 25% of its original size, and it holds just 10% of its original volume of water. But the Aral Sea's water is dried on the basis of carried sands, while period of Amudarya was running down to the Aral Sea, not the flow change of these two rivers on the Aral Sea. On this case, a southern part of Aral Sea has dried and it caused to decreasing water of this sea during the years. As you know, Turkmenistan area is covered with a sea. There are plenty of rivers and the biggest one is Amudarya River. This river locates in eastern part of the country and its water's depth is rich for the sand remaining. Plenty of water parts that reached by the Amudarya River formed the big deserts during the centuries on the basis of that sand. This big desert is called Karakum. Firstly, dry up of western water part of Turkmenistan. Secondly, dry up of southern water part of Turkmenistan. Thirdly, dry up of northern water part of Turkmenistan. And at last, fourthly, dry up of eastern water part of Turkmenistan. Generally, dry up of the sea and form of Karakum Desert. Previous way, direction of Amudarya in Turkmenistan. Period of rundown to Aral Sea, way direction of Amudarya. The drying of the Aral Sea has led to a host of unintended consequences. According to 2007 research by Philip Micklin, then at Western Michigan University in Kalamazoo, Mich, it devastated the local fishing industry. Local freshwater fish species died off when the slightly brackish water turned increasingly salty. Jetties and ports once on the coast are now sometimes as far as 70 miles, which is 120 kilometers inland. The more intense agriculture upstream meant the water that did not arrive was polluted with fertilizers, pesticides, and metals that collected in the lake sediment. When that, too, dried out, winds blew the polluted dust back across the fields, hurting crop growth and causing health problems for the people of the region, including higher rates of cancer. The local climate also changed. Without the moderating effect of the broad body of water, winters became colder and summers hotter, leaving a shorter growing season since. The 1970s Landsat has been a witness to the changes to the Aral Sea. Scientists studying the lake have used Landsat satellite images to go back in time to determine the amount of water loss and the changes to the shoreline. They have also used satellite imagery to tell its story. NASA and the U.S. Department of the Interior, through the U.S. Geological Survey, jointly manage Landsat, and the UCGS preserves a 40-year archive of Landsat images that is freely available over the internet. So, the result of our project is, first, form of desertification in territory of Turkmenistan on the basis of Amudarya. As you know, a big sea was covered at the present area of Turkmenistan. During the more and more thousand years, the area of Turkmenistan were formed to desertification by the running down of Amudarya. And its proof is that Karakum Desert is in southeast part of Hazar Sea in Turkmenistan. Second, turning the flow of Amudarya to the Aral Sea, its initials on dry up. Third, cover of Aral Sea on the basis of mass of carried sand by the rundown of Amudarya to the Aral Sea. Fourth, and last one, is our project work has successfully completed through the information on the basis of UCGS, Geology Service, and NASA, Space Agency of the USA, including digital pictures of space.